our dearest, beloved, divine friends and family, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another of In the Raw, RKU's Guyana Free Media. And I'm your host, your brother, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan. In the Raw. Trying to get things set in order. I am my own recorder man. I'm doing everything at the moment. But I must do my job even though I'm out of the jurisdiction. And fulfill expectations of people. Now for the editor and my poster, the topic of this, local content bill prevents foreigners from disguising as locals. Now the government was talking quite a bit about local content bill. The government of Guyana was getting a lot of flack. And this government of Guyana of 2020, the BPPC government, means business for Guyana development and growth. It cannot allow its citizens to lose opportunities when the foreigners are coming in and posing and taking away everything. For example, ExxonMobil, up until now, taking everything from Trinidad and Tobago. Guyana has one of the best fresh water available, but yet they were taking water, blue water, coming in tankers from Trinidad, and our Banks DIH, there were our Distillers Limited, our Guyana Clear Waters, and our corporation could not even get a piece of the pie. Same thing is happening for vegetables and fruits when we are one of the largest producers in the Caribbean, maybe the largest of food items. And so what do? We stayed quiet for 5 years. The government of then, 2015 to 2020, the David Granger, the Joseph Harmon government were only concerned with trying to get into power, not even going to meet the people. We know we had a president even at that time who was never going to meet anybody anywhere. Either he was too unwell, and I wish him well, but he gave everything over to Mr. Harmon, and Mr. Harmon was just consolidating his power in every nook and cranny. So, here now, our government, the government of the PPPC, government of the day, is making it law. A powerful and a vibrant law protecting Guyana's interests. So let me go into the article and read the presentation that was given by no other than the Honorable Minister of Natural Resources. It's truly a brilliant and a scholarly man and understand his responsibility. Vikram Bharat, Honorable Minister. Protecting jobs, ensuring training and the transfer of knowledge are tenets and priorities of the government's local content bill. To ensure jobs are protected and first preference is given to Guyanese and Guyanese businesses, the bill lucidly articulates those two components in a bid to prevent foreigners from disguising as locals and or their businesses. They're going to try that. But here, an important one is coming up now. Many times when I'm talking about foreign company, they say we're a local company. Why? Because they're registered here? Because they're registered here, they're a local company and all the money keep going and all the gold and all the diamond keep going to Belgium or to other countries? What kind of a nonsensicality, ladies and gentlemen, in my commentary and rascality is this? To say they're registered here, so they're a local company, register here and leave all the damn money here, and then I will be okay for you to work here. You can't send the money, allow it to accumulate, and then send it out the country. Then you're not a local company, but an absolute foreigner who cares only about your country and about your development, and to hell and high water to Guyana and Guyanese industries and businesses and our workers and our citizens. The PPPC government, ladies and gentlemen, needs an applause. Come on, you who are looking to this, let us applause Mr. Bikram Bharat, Dr. Bharat Jagdev, and of course, the head of our government, His Excellency, the leader, President Dr. Irfan Ali. Now, back to the article. So, Vikram Bharat, Minister of Natural Resources, are saying, I know that in the past, anybody could have come, register at the court and say, oh, this is a Guyanese company, but it is a Guyanese registered company. And we are going to make that clear now. This government of the People's Progressive Party, elected by the people of this country, by the people, for the people, of the people, will make it right. For 5 years, the APNO and that appendage, which is a burden to PNC, called AFC, could do nothing. Their hands were filled with the candies of power. And their mouths were filled with lollipop and sweet givings that's available to eat and drink, or provisions, if not givings. Ladies and gentlemen, that party, the APNO AFC, truly failed this country, I would say. And they have destroyed their integrity and their right to lead our country. And that will be for a very, very long time, as far as I can see. Now, let's go back. But it is a Guyanese registered business. Now, how am I doing this? I don't have the newspapers. I have I'm taking the news from this camera, from this phone, and I'm recording on another phone, my dear, beloved friends and family, supporters and viewers of RKU's Guyana Free Media. And I'm Haji Dr. Roshan Khan. How does the government local content bill protect against the smoke mirror? The bill soon to be made law defines a Guyanese company as one incorporated under Guyanese Companies Act. It goes on to say that the company must be owned by Guyana, by Guyanese who ultimately exercise individually or jointly voting rights representing at least 51% of the shares of the company. In addition, a Guyanese company is defined as a national holding of at least 75% of executive and senior management positions, at least 90% of non-managerial and other positions. This has to be the brains of President Dr. Irfan Ali, PhD in urban development, skills and leadership, with his partners, Vice President, the master himself, the boss, Dr. Bharat Jagdev, Vice and Honorable Prime Minister Mark Phillips, the trio of power, the trio of wisdom, with all these powerful ministers. I am so much in love with my country today as never before. We must have 90% non-managerial staff, and we must have 75% of executive and senior managerial positions. And also, we must have, if we are mixed with other people, we must have at least 51% of voting rights. And then we must have 75% of executive and managerial position. Now I just had a spot. So now I just had a spot of the next line I'm going to read. And that is saying, we don't want a fronting. In other words, they pay a man something to partner with them, but they own everything. And they make it look as if they lined up with Guyanese. So that is why, if we are to have partners, let us say from Trinidad, Barbados, or wherever, or England or UK, they need to partner with us and we must get control, and we must have 51% of the shares. It's a good thing. It's going to take some time for us to get there, but it's a good thing the government is doing, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go. Let me see. And I'm going to read it now. We don't want to encourage fronting, Minister Bharat explained. We don't want to encourage that because we have seen models around the world in where locals will just act as a front for foreign companies. We don't want that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. This is not the intention of a local content bill. This would not bring benefits to Guyanese. Absolutely correct. So what some of them were doing, putting Guyanese to buy lands. At first, if you all realize, ladies and gentlemen, when the PNC was in power, the APNU, I told them we need serious laws because ExxonMobil and these foreign companies were buying out our lands. Right? They were buying out our country, so to say. But in Trinidad, they couldn't buy any land. They had to rent, or Guyanese will build to suit them. Now, Exxon already has a headquarters in Ogle Airport compound. They already got that. So they don't have to pay no rent. So they're going to make all this money and it'll be shipped out of the country. They should have people like me, you, Jerry Gavaya, Ramesh Duku, Banks DIH, DDL, our local corporations who actually can build these buildings for them, even to their requirements and standards at international quality. We can even bring in contractors from overseas to work with us. Anyone with oil and gas or any such kinds of businesses, industries, not only oil and gas, they must use our services, our buildings, our properties. And this will cause our properties to increase further. And it will be better for us. So let me go now here. The government local content bill proposes the establishment of a local content register, which will be developed and maintained by the local content secretariat. The register will comprise the Guyanese for employment along with Guyanese national companies from which goods and services may be procured. So even also running a security company, or we are involved in real estate and rental and can help to acquire lands, the fact remains that we are a Guyanese company and the government is now going to have a secretariat to look into this, to look after our interests. This is so wonderful. I'm so proud of this government we call the PPPC government. This government, unlike the APNU AFC when they were in power, they were interested in nothing other than get the oil in here. You're going to help me win the election. 2%. Yes, just sign and accept 2%. We got to put Trotman on a commission of inquiry on the oath to say who told him and bring all those who made him sign 2%. And we got to put some strength and some power here. Mr. Vikram Bharat, Honorable Minister, Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdev, our beloved Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali, Powerhouse Brigadier, retired Mark Phillips, and our cabinet. We got to be able to change that 2%. No, not 50%. 2% to 30 or 35%. Follow the format of Suriname. Now look at Mr. Harman, how he looked. I don't know if the man was in his senses or he's not well. But that man signed his people for 2% and wearing a t-shirt at Kaichur News and fighting for 50%. Is this guy nuts? Now we go back again. The local content bill lays out 40 services that all companies and subcontractors must procure from Guyanese companies and national by the end of 2022. So this will be by the end of next year. They're giving chances for us to learn and prepare. For instance, by the end of the upcoming year, Guyanese shall provide 90% of the office space, rentals, and accommodation services, 90% for janitorial, laundry, catering services, and also there should be security services too. Catering services, 95%, pest control services, 25% medical services, 20% aviation and support services, 75% of local food supply. This government is a government a true and proper government, that you, who are even supporters of the opposition, now need to join up with this government, the PPPC, become members of the party, because this party is going to be in power for another 100 years, ladies and gentlemen. Not 20 years, 100 years. So your future might depend upon it, even though this government is a democratic government and will give fair opportunities to all Guyanese. Back to the article. These are just a few of the services highlighted in the schedule, just a few. So I think I'm okay too. Security services, if they want, they got to come to people, us local people, so to say. The bill is still to be debated in the National Assembly. The government is committed to ensuring that it is passed and made into law before 2022. The bill to amend the Natural Resource Fund, NRF, and was tabled in the National Assembly on Thursday. The amendments make way for the more prudent, transparent, and accountable management of the oil fund. But, Mr. President, Dr. Bharat Jagdev, more. We have to, anyone who wants to open any industry must involve Guyanese properties and buildings. They must not come and build a building. They have to go through Guyanese to construct buildings and structures and for them to rent from. This is going to give us the clout, the power, and to bring in other laborers who will work through our leaders to supply the labor to the oil and gas and other industries. Ladies and gentlemen, let us applaud the government of Guyana, the PPPC government, the government of the people, for the people, by the people. Let us applaud this government for waking up and encouraging cohesion and national goodwill by inviting and trying to awake the opposition. Accept our government, you're looking ludicrous in the world. The whole world has accepted, but the little petty little opposition party of a country is refusing, thinking they're playing good and big. I would love Mr. Harman to come and say out to the public that they made a mistake. Your friend, your brother, me, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan in the Ra. Arcade, Guyana Free Media.